Jonathan Allen was released this offseason. He's now signed with the Minnesota Vikings. There's some audio from him talking about the difference in the facilities. Let's hear from Jonathan Allen talking about the Commanders versus the Vikings facilities.
The one thing we were always told in college is once you get to the NFL, the facilities aren't nice. Just everything's not as nice. Like, as far as just how much money is being spent on the players, college, one of the top programs, is usually the best. But, man, when I came here and I seen they have kombucha and they just had all the drinks in the fridge and the facilities, I was just like, wow. Like, I feel like I've been cheated my last 8 years. I'm like, these guys over here living like this is incredible.
So, first reaction, BMitch.
You always praise where you go. Of
course.
And the Minnesota Vikings facility is one of the newest in the league. So, of course, it's going to have a lot of stuff on it. He was here with Dan Snyder, who didn't want to spend no damn money. This team is going to 4 Super Bowls. Think about that. 4. With an awful facility.
Yeah, I mean,
that facility was 1/7 of what they have right now.
Exactly.
And they went to Super Bowl. So the facility don't make you go to Super Bowl. When was the last time I saw Minnesota Vikings in the Super Bowl? How about probably NFC Championship game? They were in one, maybe.
Yeah, when they lost the Eagles, right? They kind of got stomped.
And this team just went to an NFC Championship game in that same building right there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just what happens when people go to a new place. They're going to praise and rave about it, but last time I checked, the building don't make you win.
Well, and for the record, too, like, Josh Harris and the new company, the ownership group has done a heck of a job.
They have tried to improve stuff
and putting lipstick on a pig, and they're making stuff as much as they possibly can out of that facility. And I'm sure at some point they'll get a brand new one. But I mean, to your point, you go to Minnesota, you drive by it on the highway, see how nice that thing is. It's brand new.
Yeah, it's new.
Of course, it's going to be better, right? You build anything brand new nowadays, it's going to be better than something that was one crappy to begin with.
I'll say this: the team that has won the most Super Bowls over the last 5-6 years, Kansas City, Minnesota stuff better than theirs.
Oh, yeah. Not even close.
Minnesota stuff is better than Philadelphia Eagles. Minnesota stuff is probably better than the 49ers. Guess what, though? All those teams won more than Minnesota.
Yeah,
so just because you're at a place where everything is new and you got kombucha, hell, bring your own damn kombucha if that's what you want. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the ultimate thing is most places of business today are making it where everybody has everything they need. They try to make you comfortable. And I think most football facilities, this is what they used to do in the past. They had everything that you wanted there, so you wouldn't want to leave. Just like a country club. The country club is put there not only for you to play golf, but they want to make sure that everything has you so comfortable that you don't leave. You stay and watch sports games there. You eat there. You drink there. Instead of going somewhere else and spending all that money. They try to keep you in one place. That's the exact same thing that the NFL is starting to do with most teams, is where you show up and then all of a sudden you're so comfortable. Hey, guys, we're going to hang around here. We don't have to go anywhere. So they got everything you want. The kombucha. You can go get your coffee and all that different thing. Some places have pool tables and ping pong tables. And what's called the little thing. Other game you play.
Foosball.
All it.
Yeah.
They have barbershops in a lot of the facilities. You got that. They want to keep you there. But it still don't automatically amount to winning.
Correct. You want to build, this to me is like basically kind of front office to head coach stuff too. Like, you want to put together the best environment, you want to put together the best roster, and then whatever happens on the field happens, right? Like, that's up to the head coach and the players, but you want to create an environment. You want to put your guys in a position to be successful. You don't want them complaining. And look, I think what this new ownership group has done a good job of is they're doing the best job they possibly can. When you look at the upgrade that they've made, what the jump that they made from last in the NFLPA survey last year to where they're at now is just a huge leap. But to your point, Minnesota, just looking across the board on their NFLPA survey, the lowest grade they have on anything is their dietitian, nutritionist, and they get to B+. Everything else is an A. But like you said, team success. Like, the Philadelphia Eagles gave their locker room a D+. The Commanders had an F. Some other notable teams, LA Rams had a C+. Their food and dining area was a C-. Their weight room is a C+. The New England Patriots have been one of the banner franchises for quite some time. I know the players aren't necessarily there that were winning Super Bowls, but their weight room was graded as an F. Last time I checked, they were winning Super Bowls probably with a similar weight room like what they got right now, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's all about, you want to give them the comforts, but and I'm glad he's enjoying his time in Minnesota. I also don't think he's trying to take a dig at Washington there either.
Well, I mean, listen, I don't care if he is. To be honest with you, I don't care about. See, it gets to the point where we talk so much about the glamour and the luster of something. Does it always win? Like, I always use this a little narrative of, if I gave you a Ferrari with no engine and transmission in it, and then I gave you another car with an engine and transmission in it. If that engine and transmission is not in that car and the Ferrari don't move, you're not going to get many dates.
Mm-hmm.
The other car, you get some dates because you can go back and forth. So you're going to just sit there and talk about how good something looks. The problem with so many people today, they care about what something looks like. It's what you get out of it and what's inside of it that makes something go these days. So still, yeah, they got a better facility. I saw a level of success jump in 1 year with this franchise in the same damn building. Why? Because guys that rolled in, that became the real leaders, they cared about making sure that the guys inside, the engines and the transmissions, were pushing the thing, not the building. And they got success. So the same building that didn't have success for years, they had success.
Yeah, and the other thing, too, is you can look at it as, this is why college facilities are so nice. They use it as a recruiting tool, right?
Because you would think a 17, 18-year-old person could be, by something
absolutely.
like that. Once you get to this level, it's not all about just what it looked like anymore.
Well, and to your
point,
about
performance.
To your point, you know who signed here last offseason? Bobby Wagner.
Yeah.
Zach Ertz.
Yeah.
Like, those are longtime vets that have pedigree, and despite the facilities, they still chose to go there, right? Like, it's not a big deal. But just to your point, too, like, Commanders had an F in the locker room. You know, it was a D-, Kansas City Chiefs. Training room was a C- for the Chiefs, C+ for the Commanders. Training staff for the Commanders a B+, C for the Kansas City Chiefs.
But they win anyway.
It doesn't matter, right? Like,
because if it's all about winning, that's when you begin to realize that you get it done. Not the look of the building, not the grade someone gives. If every person on the team had the same mindset and they try to improve themselves by 0.1% or 100% daily, maybe you'll get more excitement instead of, oh man, our building's so good. You get so busy looking at the damn building, you're not working on your body.
Well, exactly right. And the thing is, like, if you're winning,
but it's a mindset that has to come first. Josh brought a new mindset. Adam and Dan brought a new mindset. And a lot of the players that they brought in last year changed the way that people thought inside that locker room.
Yeah, I mean, if you're winning football games and you're happy, the stuff that's bothering you, you're not going to complain about. It's fine. You're winning football games. Of course, if you're losing and going 4-13, the facility.
If you're losing football games, you don't want to blame you. You try to find something else to blame.
Right. And
when you win, you don't try to look for something to give credit to.
You better find something to blame, because it sure as heck better not be you, right? Otherwise, you're not going to be hanging out very long.
Weird stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think John Allen brings up whatever you want. You know, if it's
but it is not nothing that's different in any aspect of life. Anybody that leaves one place and goes somewhere else, they always find something else. But that little saying back in the day, the grass is not always green on the other side. And let's be real. Just because, like, when you look at the grass on golf course, there's some grass, you look at it, you go, oh man, that grass brown. Just give it a little time.
Yeah.
When it's in the right temperature, right area, it becomes green at the right time. On a lot of golf courses, you see that. It goes dormant, then it comes back. And it looks as good as it ever looked 2-3 days later. So basically, if the building looking good makes you happy, cool. Something else has to go into it and put some more work into it to make sure you get what you want out of it.